I am just so tremendously excited about all this healing power and all this exhilarating energy which just floods me and just gets greater and greater every day, and just more and more exhilaration and happiness and thrill and more love flowing out and more people being healed and more excitement of testimonies coming in of people being healed, and I just get so enthusiastic about it. And I am going to really have a marvelous day with my breakfast. I got all my breakfast fixed just exactly right. My pancakes fixed just exactly right. My toast has got the right amount of just exactly the right brownness on it, and all the butter and everything is just exactly right. And I've got my nice peanut butter and jelly and my rice, and everything is just fixed perfect and all in order. And so I'm going to put on Tanya Love and listen to that. She always has her thoughts all in order, so it just fits right in with my breakfast and everything. Just gets me all going good. And I'm going to see if she is going to be able to raise my frequency even more. It just seems like my frequency is so high. It seems like my exhilaration is so great. And my the healing juices are flowing. The healing power is just flooding me. And everything is just all so marvelous. But somehow or another, she always comes up with an idea, a new thrilling idea for us to think about that raises our frequency a little more. And I just wouldn't ever miss her program for anything. And so I'm going to, as much wonderful things as I could go ahead and say, I'm going to stop it, my spiel here, and I'm going to begin to listen to her, because after all, I have to eat my breakfast anyway. And I'll just got to get her going here, and I'm going to get this little My Joe boy, this little old thing. I mean, it just doesn't weigh a pound, and it's just it's just marvelous. A marvelous little old thing. For the way that it will make your one little cup. Your nice. You make your nice little cup. 1 cup out of these little brew cups that just seal in. Oh, I mean, it just seals in that flavor. There's so much marvelous flavor sealed into that little cup. It's just like all the marvelous love and the joy, which as we begin to meditate, begin to well up inside of us, and it is sealed in there to where it can't escape until we get ready to really flow it. And then when we begin to flow it, it's just a marvelous, mighty power. It begins to flow out and heal and raise up and manifest and give abundance to people. And so I'm going to get into that. And while I listen to Tanya Love, I'll just pop this little thing in here. You see, I can listen to her and just pop it in there like that. Real. It makes a nice little, and then it when I get my water and everything in there, well, then it just punches the other hole, goes right down into the cup, and it just has a marvelous flavor. Doesn't lose any of the flavor, doesn't lose any of the aroma or anything. It all goes right into your cup. And so, and this is all from Organic Gold Coffee Company, and they have discovered a way to infuse the herb Ganoderma lucidium into the coffee bean and have it grow along with it, so that every coffee bean, as it's ground up, it has full of a Ganoderma lucidium, and that Ganoderma lucidium is just it doesn't have the they've taken out every bit of the caffeine and replaced it with the infusement of this Ganoderma lucidium, and which just gives you a nice sense of well-being, none of the jitters, none of the nervousness, and you could drink 10 or 15 cups of coffee every day and never have any interference with your sleeping patterns. You could stop any time, and you don't have the withdrawal effects. And so it also at the same time, it's unbelievable, but at the same time it does all that, it also tastes 10 times better than any of the other coffee. You'd think by them changing it and taking the caffeine out of it, that it would taste, like this other decaffeinated coffee that you see, and it wouldn't taste as good, but it actually tastes better, and it tastes better than any other coffee. It's the best tasting coffee in the world. And so Tanya Love is the best. Tanya Love is the best YouTube channel in the world, and so I'm going to get her going. We'll have the best coffee and the best woman on the YouTube at the same time, and I know she'll be able to raise my frequency. She always does, and so I'm going to get her moving on here. Tanya, what have you got to give me this morning? I know it's going to be marvelous. Oh yes, okay, Tanya, let's go here this morning.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tanya Love, and welcome to the Tanya Love Show. It is the day after Mother's Day, and so this weekend I was kind of feeling out what we were going to be discussing today, and it just popped in that we would discuss the mother-father complex or that mother-father connection. And so, first of all, I'd just like to wish all of you a happy Mother's Day, even though it's the day after. I personally feel every day should be Mother's Day, where we should honor our mother, beginning with that mother that's within us, whether we're male or female. We have a feminine energy and we have a masculine energy. And that's what I'm going to really talk about today is how we can approach our lives from a place of greater balance and alignment. And that is when we really come into harmony and balance with our wholeness, when we are aware of our infinite wholeness instead of the way many of us have been raised as children. When we came in, we felt pretty whole and aware. A lot of us did. And then we're raised by parents who have learned to betray themselves and teachers and leaders who have been conditioned to betray themselves. And they all want to do the best for us, and they say it's because they love us. But what they do is often they encourage us to follow in their shoes, and what we do is we start living our lives in ways that we can please others, even if it means it's betraying ourselves, and we stop being true to self. So today, the topic of our show is going to be all about staying true to yourself and maintaining your vibrational alignment. And for most of you that have been watching my shows for a while and have tuned in, you know me on Facebook, or perhaps you're a client of mine and you've come to see me for healing, you know that everything I talk about is going to come back to energy, vibration, and alignment. If we get very simple with our lives and we forget about all the complexity that we love to create as humans, we can get very simple, and it all comes down to our vibration and our alignment. And so no matter what your story is today, for those of you tuning in, we all have our life situation. We all have our story. But it's very important that we don't get too caught up in that story to the point where we lose our awareness and we lose our alignment. When we do that, that's when we start feeling like we have no control over the situation, that we feel like victims. We start feeling a sense of hopelessness, and our ego can really take us for a ride. So I'm going to tune in today and kind of connect with you about my observation of how humans struggle and how it starts with this mother-father complex, is what I just feel source calling it inside of my consciousness right now, is the mother-father complex is this sense of always needing this something from a mother or father energy and never feeling that you got quite enough, never feeling it was enough or adequate. And a lot of you watching had different life situations with your parents. Each of us had our own. Some of us had very loving parents that were there for us, that nurtured and supported us, that really raised us with awareness. And some of us had parents that were negligent, that were not really there for us, that abused us, that led us astray. And so we've all had our own story, our own situation.
Wonderful mother.
The thing is how do you handle what you've been through? Do you feel, as a little girl, if you were raised and you didn't get the attention you needed from your dad, and he was working all the time, and you saw how he would treat your mother, and they'd yell, and he would talk down to your mother, and then as a little girl you're observing that, and there's some part of us that seeks that approval from our father. And so a little girl, I have many clients who have gone through this exact situation, is why I'm going to use this. They go through their lives and they're seeking that father energy externally. They're seeking the daddy love that they didn't get, and they're seeking it in all the wrong places. And so this can lead to a great amount of suffering for that human until she realizes one day, hopefully, that aha moment happens for her. And she looks out and realizes, you know what? I've been meditating, I'm connecting with myself, I love myself, and I'm realizing that my dad did the best he could. He did the best he knew how with whatever he was taught, whatever love he was shown. And I'm going to forgive him. I'm going to let go of all this stuff that I thought I should have got and just let go of that heaviness of the feeling of loss, as if something did not come to you that you needed. And when that moment happens for a human, a liberation and alignment happens. And so it can come from the father energy or the feminine from the mother energy. But I want to discuss that because I have so many clients that when we get deeper and I start tuning into their energy and realizing woundedness that they are ready to clear, whether they're 20 or whether they're 70 years old, it doesn't matter. It's this vibrational cellular memory that's going on in them, and they're putting out these frequencies that came from very early childhood circumstances.
Unbelievable taste.
It's really important, I feel, for us as a consciousness of beings on this planet, that we really start to wake up to how much we are vibrationally affecting each other, and that we could start to really come into a place where we start honoring children very early, like really giving them honor, giving them space, giving them room to be who they've come here to be, and learning how to balance that in alignment. And so a parent that is raising a child that, you know, they didn't feel that they got what they needed, so they overshoot, and they're trying to give everything to that child that they, you know, feel they didn't get. In that situation, it can really be detrimental for that child and for the parent, because we really want to make sure that our giving is coming from our alignment and from our sense of love. And alignment is going to feel different than I have a sense of guilt or I have a sense of obligation to give. And so I feel it's a great thing for us to address in ourselves as adults, because as we heal and as we come into alignment and we really are moving through our little movie of a life, with that awareness, we are going to manifest so much more beauty and love and support than if we're coming from that place of wounded child. And I help so many clients who have a wounded child that needs to be addressed. And it's interesting because once they've addressed it and they really see it, they're pretty amazed of what I can tune into in them. And when they're really honest, they realize how that wounded child has caused them a lot of problems through their life. And, you know, there could be times that we're sitting here in our 40-year-old body and we seem pretty conscious and aware and we're mature. And then something can happen to trigger emotional woundedness. And next thing you see a grown-up throwing a tantrum, or you see a grown-up just aggressively lashing out of fear. And it's not hard to spot once you have awareness that that is a wounded child inside of a human adult body. And so my point for today is to really address this mother-father complex that we have, where we have it so deeply that we project it even in an external way, where we feel that we need a God that is somewhere outside of us, or we need a goddess that is outside of us. We need the approval of mother. We need father's approval. And if we don't have that, we feel like we're not enough. If mother lashes out and is angry, we can take that very personal internally and feel that we're not lovable. If father lashes out, or if father ignores us and shuns us, doesn't support us, we can take that so deeply and feel as if we're unlovable, unworthy. And so what I would love to share with each of you is that there is another way, that is the aligned way. And it doesn't mean that, you know, you can't say that you have a love for God or a love for your mother or your father. All those things are beautiful. It's just to understand the balance and the alignment of having wholeness within yourself. So when you feel whole, you're not going to mother with a need. When you're not going to your mother with a need, she feels the ease of your presence. You feel the ease of being in her presence. And love can happen. When you feel a void and you are missing that some kind of aspect of father energy, And as a wife, you go to your husband for that.
Great show.
He feels a tension and a resistance.
Go to the next.